Of Minutes with Me. I'm Bon Tran Fitness, and this is Daniel Ashmeade from Ashmeade Fitness.
Happening.
Ooh, it's cold. It is cold. Like Daniel told me to take this off, and I was like, no, I can't. I can't show the guns. Can't show the guns.
No time for the gun show.
But today is a really deep episode. I'm gonna say that because we're gonna talk about entrepreneurship and what it means to us. And some business stories and definitely struggles and taking our business to the next level, right? And try to just go through that, right? On a more deeper level, right? Things that I haven't really shared with anyone other than Daniel, because I've worked with Daniel. And Daniel's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
So to start things off, what entrepreneurship means to me is, it's about purpose. It's about having a big dream. It's about thinking big and having big dreams and taking risk and, growing, making mistakes, right? And all these things it's like school, right? But practical, right? Everything practical. You make a mistake, but then you really learn the lesson and then you don't do it again, right? But it's experience.
Yeah.
Right? It's experience. It's about creating. It's about inventing and being creative with your skills, being creative with your product or service and all those things, right? And that's what I've learned from entrepreneurship and really finding what you are going to serve. Who are you going to serve? Right? Is the main thing, right? For us, right? Me and Daniel, it's people, right? Everyone has a niche, but I serve moms, busy moms who want to get fit over at the age of over 30, right? They're busy professionals and they're busy moms who have 2-3 kids to deal with, right? And that's who I serve. And basically it's just about being divergent, right? Do you choose to work on the weekends or do you not to choose to work on the weekends, right? I personally like to work. I love what I do, and I work 7 days, right? And everything that you do, you got to ask yourself questions, right? Everything you do, right? So basically, if an event comes, right? Obviously, during this time, we don't really attend events. but but any decision or thing that you're going to be doing, ask yourself, is this going to take me further to my goal? Is this going to contribute to my success? Is this going to contribute to my dream? And that's the questions that I ask myself for. And it's a way of thinking, right? Really, entrepreneurship, being in business for yourself and living on your own terms is all a way of thinking, right? And believing in yourself and there's so much more, right? And I'm gonna leave a little bit for Daniel to talk about that because I don't want to take everything. But moving on from that, basically how I got into the fitness industry, and I know I talked a little bit more briefly, but yeah, like I pretty much started in before actually the big box gym. I was in a restaurant, and my plan A was never personal training. It was actually plan B. Plan A was like to be a plumber, right? I was working in the restaurant. I was a plumber. I was working at the hospital as a plumber, as an apprentice, and I trained one guy pretty much for free, and I wanted to see what it was like and to see if I could do it. And man, like it really was hard. It was really difficult the first time I wasn't certified, but I was just like, I just went, he asked me for help. So I was like, this is what I do, right? And based off on my experiences, I just went into it. And it's a lot harder than you think, like dealing with people, helping people, and just seeing how they think and finding solutions to help them better their life, right? And they're going to ask you questions, and then if you can't answer them, you have to be that solution oriented type of person where, okay, I don't understand it, or I don't know right now, and I'm going to find out, right? It's okay not to know. Right?
Totally.
And so from there, fast forward, I finally made the move to, after plumbing, I was like, no, this is definitely not the lifestyle I want to live, right? Definitely not restaurant industry for sure. Left that. Then I saw an opening for like a job hire at this gym, right? This big box gym. And pretty much I was like, you know what? This is my time. It's a sign, I've been going to this gym and I have all these signs. So I just went for it and then applied for the job. And then fast forward, got the job. And then, wow, like I never thought I would get it. Like I was like, wow, like I would think personal trainers are like this prestige, highly educated, highly everything, and you're working with people and helping them transform their life. And so from there, I was learning from so many different personal trainers. So I got that experience that I learned the sales, and then from there, I after a year, I left that that job and then started my own business, right? And that's where I actually met Daniel. And Daniel was the reason why I got into business for myself, because I saw the way, not just like the money and stuff, but also just I could live on my own terms. I could work on my own schedule and have that flexibility, right? To do things my way instead of one organization way, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I went into. And then Daniel took me on, right? He taught me, further deeper into sales, people, business, right? Running a business, and definitely took notes, mental notes, and just studied my way, right? And he really helped me develop as a trainer, business wise and every aspect. And then from there, yeah, like this, I also joined a network marketing business. Probably after 6 months into starting my own fitness business, and why I joined a network marketing business. And I know some of you may not know what network marketing is, but it's pretty much a business where you can achieve financial freedom. And I went for that, but I also went for the educational part, right? And network marketing, it's about helping people, so it really aligned with my values. So that's why I went into it, right? Network marketing works. I built it. I failed. I built it. I failed. I built it, and I failed, right? But that's okay. It taught me, that it's okay to fail. It's okay, working with so many different types of people. But the most important thing is you just keep moving forward. You keep going, right? But it fed my purpose, which is people. Right?
Yes.
And that's what you have to understand. And me and Daniel had so many talks about purpose and what am I serving, right? Who am I serving? And so through that, I've learned so much from network marketing. I don't put network marketing down. It's a good business for definitely to get mentorship, to also get hardcore hands-on entrepreneurship if you're trying to get your mindset right and personally develop. Then through that, I've been in the fitness industry for 5 years now, and like I said, I've been doing my business for 5 years, and the struggles, right? I'm going to talk about the struggles. First year was a grind, right? My first month I did okay, but still, like, finding clients was difficult, and finding clients will be difficult until you get, your roster of clients who are loyal to you, who are going to keep coming to you, and you're going to get referrals through that, right? And then obviously advertisement and stuff like that, and then putting your work out there. Definitely, I had learning curves of a business self-image. Self-image with myself, right? How I overcame that was through doing, right? Talking to people. I was always shy, right? In talking to people and really getting out there, but definitely through the big box gym and just really knowing how to prospect and talk to people and reading all those books, right? That's how I really overcome, right? You learn and then you apply. You learn and you apply, and then you overcome, right? And it becomes second nature. My prices, my values, right? How do I really value myself, and what do I see, right? I looked at myself like a $40 trainer or like a $50 trainer. I didn't, man, like I did not see myself as worth it that much, and you start to devalue yourself in the beginning, but you gotta look at yourself with a bigger and better image, right? Because you do deserve more. You do deserve the best, right? And that's for yourself, but also for your clients, right? And if you start looking at yourself like that, you're also going to able to provide that service and project that energy and self-image onto them, right? That they can do it. They can succeed at transforming their body. Rejection, right? That's going to happen. I actually had a friend recently ask me, what do you do when someone leaves you, right? For another trainer, or when someone says no, right? You just move on, right? People are going to come in and out of your life, and you just got to let it go, right? It's their loss. You have to, it's a way of thinking, like I said, from the beginning of entrepreneurship. It's a way of thinking. So you got to think it's their loss, right? Because you know what your worth is, and you can get people results, and you just have to keep learning, growing, and to overcome that, it's just to learn more about yourself and learn how to get better results, right? So those are some of my struggles, and like I said, I still have struggles, right? Some days are not going to be the best days, but we all have struggles on different levels. But if we work on ourselves every day, we will strengthen our strengths, right? And we will minimize our weaknesses, right? And improve, right? It's all about improvement. Like even today, not using my time wisely is one of them, as a struggle from before. Valuing my time, right? Sometimes I would have like long conversations, and I wouldn't like pay attention to time, right? With friends, or even just at business time, right? Just talking to people, right? And just knowing that, your time is valuable, and you got to protect that at all costs, right? So that's something I have to personally improve on, and I've been improving on, and to say, I have to go, I have to run, I have to do things for my business, right? And take care of the nitty gritty stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And also a little bit more too is friends, right? When you start your own business, when you go into entrepreneurship, it's going to be difficult. You're going to change in so many aspects, like your mindset, even your friends, right? You may think that you're losing friends, but you're not. You're just evolving, right? And you're hanging out with better people who serve your purpose better, right? Through that, in my fifth year in the business, but fourth year on my own, I started an online business this year because COVID and everything, the pandemic, and yeah, like through 101 to boot camps to really scaling my business, I raised my price, every year because I got better every year, right? I finally saw the value in myself, and then I had the struggle of putting it out there with online training. And it was really, I'm going to be honest, like it was out of my comfort zone to really put myself out there, even with this online program that I put out, the Bontran home workouts, that's being on camera, and putting all that out there. It's definitely was out of my comfort zone, but I'm definitely over that. I've overcome that, and that's no longer an issue. Now it's just about scaling it. So that's a little bit of my story on the deeper end. There's definitely more. I'm not going to give it to you all, but Daniel's going to talk about his experience.
Well, I liked when you said about getting out of your comfort zone, because I think that's what it's all about. I think we always have to constantly be out of our comfort zone. And for me, entrepreneurship, like by definition, is being able to create jobs for other people. And then small business owner is, being able to work for yourself. So like, I would say my story, I guess I always had a calling of being a personal trainer, even though I ignored it for all of my life. Growing up, 14, skinny kid, very insecure, fell in love with the gym at 14, been training my whole life from 38, traveled the world, different countries. Everywhere I went to a gym, but I never thought about being a personal trainer. I went to school first for social service work. So I worked with adults and children with mental and physical disabilities. So I did that for about 10 years. And then I traveled the world. I lived in Taiwan and then in the Bahamas, and did some like kind of soul searching. Because honestly, I didn't have an end goal. Like I grew up with a single mom who just, take care of my sister and I didn't have a role model of what I wanted to be like, right? I didn't have a father who was around for me to be like him. So I didn't know. I just wanted to get rich. I wanted to chase money. So that was my thing. So I came back to Canada and, worked at a medical appliance place, building medical equipment. Found a gym, loved working out, started working out. Then, the manager suggested that maybe I should become a personal trainer. So I did that part-time. Unlike you, where Bond found it difficult, I found it easy. I just found it was my niche. I love people. I love the gym, and I just loved helping people. And when I started 15 years ago, 20 years ago now at the gym, the box gym, there was no price limit. So you can order whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want. And so I didn't have that pressure of selling these big packages, right? And for me, it was like, if you wanted it, I was here for you. There was no pressure on sales. Sales for me wasn't sales. Sales was relations. So I lucked out in terms of having that mindset, that 15 years of doing it, being on the floor, meeting people, networking, cold calls, prospecting all day, every day. It wasn't prospecting. For me, it was just going to the gym and meeting people and saying hi. And if you needed help, I got your help. And if you wanted trading, sweet, right? It was so organic for me that I never found it a challenge and a struggle. So I moved up in the ranks. I did really well. I became a fitness manager and assistant fitness manager first. Got my own little gym, not my own gym, but I'm my own fitness manager at a gym, my own department. And then sales was good, but then it became all about numbers. So it was hard because that pressure of numbers was happening now. Now I had quotas. Now was responsible for other people. And I realized, as good as I was relating to people, I wasn't the best at the time to lead people. So that was my big struggle. That's what I realized that I failed at many times over. I had trainers walk all over me. I had trainers lie to me. I had trainers cheat on me, as in like lie about training that they're doing, or training on the side with clients. I was great at sales. I could always sell and I can get people clients. That was no problem, but I couldn't manage my trainers. So I got demoted. So I either had an option of demoting myself or getting fired. I demoted myself and then I quit. Tried other things again, went back to school, and then I was going to that's when I met my wife and her father. At the time, they were on vacation. I was in school, and I was going to work at a Ontario Shores at a facility with a medical facility, and I was going to be an occupational therapist. That's what I thought. I was going to be an occupational therapist. I was going to help people with the gym. It was great. It was a good balance between the two, right? I had my social service work background and my fitness background. But Tiff's dad at the time said, look, you love training. You love what you do. Why not give it a shot? I did not think about started my own gig at all. But the beautiful thing, and I know it's God, because meeting my wife, at the time, she had her own place, she had her own job, she was fully successful, she didn't need any money from me. So it gave me a chance to build myself. And at first, it was very hard. Like, I was a stay-home dad, I wasn't getting any clients, and it was a struggle, and I had to battle with myself day in and day out. Was this for me? Right? But I stuck with it. And I think that's the one thing we got to learn, is that grit, to stick with it, no matter how hard it is and how much you think you're going to fail and how much you think you're not good enough and no one's going to want to train with you. We all have these insecurities. It's human nature, but we got to fight past them, right? In your heart, if you know what you love, what you do, and you're coming authentic and what you want to do, help people, the money will come. And it did, slowly but surely. But just like Bond, my wife still had to work for a bit until the clients started rolling in slowly. I was blessed enough to have a lot of clients from the gym that I worked at, worked with me, because we built great relations. I've had clients for, 15, 20 years from that gym to myself. And at my church, a lot of my clients I got from my church. And just like Bond said, his niche market are stay-home moms. I'm pretty much the same. I'm more business professional. So, but I would say, like, right now, I train 15-year-old athletes that want to get scholarships, up to 70-year-old retired people. So I have a big spectrum, and I think that's just been because of the years of experience that I have. But if I would pick someone, it would be the 40 to 60 business professional. I love their mindset. I love learning from them, which I've gotten a lot of education, a lot of worth and value from them, just as much as I put into them. So started my own gig, was training, things were great, things was good, but there was a problem. There was a cap. There's only so many hours in a day. And unlike Bond, I'm now a husband and I'm also a father. And I don't have 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to put into my work. I have to save some time for my wife. I have to save some time for my kid. And I also have to save some time for myself. And just like Bond said, you can burn out very easily. And if you don't have that balance, but let me let you guys know, there is no such thing as work-life balance. Sometimes work's going to take over. Sometimes family's going to take over. Sometimes you're going to take over. But there is never going to be a cohesive balance of all three. It's impossible. There's going to be seasons for each. But I know that if I wanted to scale the way I wanted to be and be able to stay home, I had to find a way to make money while not working, make money while I was sleeping, make residual income. So I started a program called 30 Percenters. So me and my wife, what we did, we found people like Bond. He was one of my first ones and actually my only amazing one, as you can see, doing the podcast together. So we found young people who wanted to be personal trainers. We were going to build them up. We were going to train them how to become trainers. We're going to teach them about business. My dad has owned his own business for 30 years. He's a very successful business owner himself, entrepreneur, still making money, flipping homes, all that stuff. And like Bond with his Amway and his multi-marketing business that helped him with his education, his support, and his drive. That's what Tiff's dad was to me. That was my support system. So he was the guy who pushed me, who charged me up, who motivated me, who told me that I can do it, and answered all my questions. So I had that. And so I was going to get him. So he was there. Tiff was there. She was good for business. So we had our team. And we put lots of time and effort in. We'd plan. We'd get food for people. And it was a failure. Besides Bond, people would come late. No one would do their homework. No one would pay attention. It wasn't good. But it was okay. It was a learning experience. But then I realized, look, okay, I still have to find some way of getting other people training without me training, because I can only train so many hours. And this is when a lot of influx of clients were coming in. So then I said, okay, maybe if I found great trainers, I can sell for them and then give them clients and take a percentage. And that's what I've done. So now I already take high-end, great personal trainers who just might not have the sales aspect to be able to speak to a stranger and ask for money and deliver a promise, and I sell for them, and then I get commission, and then they get an amazing client, and the client gets an amazing trainer, and it's been a beautiful thing. So that's how I've been able to grow my business thus far in the 4 years, right? but I've had like lots of challenges. I've had the burnout. I've had, you know, how much time do I spend with family? And then I come home and I'm exhausted and I don't have enough time to give the energy for my wife and my kids. So I had to find to balance that. And I want to get my workouts in and all those other little things that come into it too, right? So it's always ongoing. And even now it's like finding good trainers, you know. Fortunately, Bond is on his own, doing his own thing now, so I don't have any more. But it's really hard to get trainers who want to commit, to clients, who aren't going to call in sick at the last minute, who are going to do the stuff to follow up, that I can trust and have the confidence that they're going to do what I promised the client that they're going to do, right? But I think, you know, 6 years, 6 years now, it's great where I'm at now. I have a good balance thus far. I over the COVID, I did some online training as well, and I have a little bit of that now. But I know my forte is definitely the one-on-one. But I've been very blessed to have very long-term clients. So all my clients I've had for years, and we've grown together and they've developed together, and then they just refer their spouse or their kid or something like that for me. So I'm able to keep my clientele small, and then everybody else I just divvy out to my other trainers, right, to give them people. So for me now, I want to build them up to get them more clients. So therefore I can now focus a little bit more on me, a little bit more on my baby girl. I have a new baby now too. I have a 2-year-old. So like for me, it's family, right? For me, what's really important is to be able to take care of my family financially, that my wife can now stay home with my kids. And I know that they're taken care of. And I know that I can go out and provide for my family and do what needs to be done so they're taken care of. And also get my time so I can still practice what I preach and go to the gym and focus on my fitness, because that's very, very important to me, very important to me. And to have a partner in crime like my wife to understand that, and for her to do all that stuff that I don't do. And that's the other thing, people. Entrepreneurship is learning to let go and not do everything. Small business owners do everything. Entrepreneurs find the right people and give away jobs and positions to them so now they can do what they're the best at. Mm-hmm. I'm a visionary. I'm great at sales and I train. Tiffany does everything else. She does marketing, she does sales, she does the sheets, she does the scoping of the hiring, she does the pre-close for clients. So there's so much more to it before I get to them that she does. And then I have my other trainers that take care of the people that I can't take care of, right? So just learning that and knowing that you can't do everything and you shouldn't do everything. Every amazing entrepreneur and business owner does not do everything. They started at that, but you need to hire, you need to trust, you need to let go and find the right people to do what they need to do and let them do it. So you can do what you do best. You can do what you do that makes it rain. And for me, it's sales. And for me, it's training people. But I'm learning more so with sales. And I want to grow that business and I want to grow my other trainers and get them more people because they're being helped. They're getting fed clients. And then more of the population and more people are getting served. And I get a chance to do what I do best at. And that's the sales. And it's the education. And it's the learning as well, right? To get myself better. Because just like Bonnie said, it is an ongoing process. You never stop learning and you never stop getting better. If you feel that you're the best, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. And even now, this COVID thing, learning, I feel like a new kid again. I'm revamped. Everything is brand new. I've been able to organize my days so much better. I've been able to provide a lot more service to my clients. And, you know, I think I said to Bon, and I'm the one of the ones that helped him decide that, man, put that price up every year. You're worth it, right? If you're worth it and you're killing yourself, you're worth that, whatever you're charging, right? And I put my prices up every year too, but it's a premium service for a premium cost. When you need me, I'm there. If you want online, I'm online. If you need me for a different day, I'm there. I'm giving you programs right now. What's kind of cool is I'm actually helping clients now build their home gyms. So what we're doing now is I'm scoping out equipment for what they need and I'm helping them lay their gym outs for them. So they're building their gyms with me and then I can train with them. So that's been like this new forte that actually just came out of nowhere. I didn't even ask for it. I've just had clients that just say, okay, this is, you know, my one guy's like, you know, my son, he's, you know, he wants to get a scholarship and he's, you know, doing the sport. What do I need? And of course, I've seen touched every piece of equipment out there, so I know what they need. And then my other guy, same thing, bro. I built my house. I want to build my whole gym. I want to hire you. Tell me what I need. We'll do the layout in the gym and then you train me. And it's so cool because, they respect and they trust my expertise on what they need. And I know what they need. So we've been able to tailor their gyms, really customized for them, so they get the best outcome and for the space that they have. Right. So you never know what God has for you. And you never know what your business has for you if you just constantly say yes. Like I started from I remember Dad always says to me, I was like, man, if I can only get 20 hours a week, if I got 20 hours a week, that's my goal. Right now I'm like, man, I only have 20 hours a week. Man, it's a slow week. I only have 20 hours a week. Right. Yeah. And then now I have my clients. I'm like, oh, if they can only get so many. So it's like, it's cool how you'll always see it grow, always think about the next step. But before you think of the next step, perfect what you have first. Always perfect your bread and butter first. When you got your foundation down, then the growth just comes with it. Because it's like a house. Without a good, strong foundation, a house is just going to crumble.
Yeah.
So focus on your foundation, get that primed. And then from there, now you can start building rooms and you can start building the roof and you can start building extensions to your house and the swimming pool and all that other stuff. So that's it with me with a nutshell. It's a beautiful thing. Even this podcast, we just started talking, Bonnie and I, and all of a sudden, remember, we were just shooting the stuff, just talking because we haven't spoken in a while. And all of a sudden I was like, man, we should do a podcast together. And boom, doing it.
Make it happen.
Making it happen. So, from where Bon is, from where I am, we're at different stages and ages and stages in our life. But I think we have a very, a close bond, and our mindsets are very similar. We even have the same birthday. That's just how close we are. and we're both right. It is people first. And I think, and I know that if you focus on people, everything else will come to play. Because without people, nothing is possible. You can't make money without people. You can't be successful without people, and you can't grow without people. So remember that, guys. Your number one focus should be people.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'm actually watching a show called Kitchen Nightmares, and it's by Gordon Ramsay. And he talks about the customers, right? Your customers have to come first, right? And that's with every industry, right? It's not just fitness, but your customers have to come first. Right. And
they do. They really do. They really do. Because they're the ones that are paying your bills. They're the ones that are taking care of you. They're the ones that trust you and like you and care for you. Right.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are going to give you opportunities that you never thought. They're the ones that are going to give you the possibilities, the referrals, the talk to this guy. Oh, what about this person? Right. They're the ones that are going to help you when you need it. Yeah. So take care of them for sure.
And growing and new things come up, right? New clients and new ways to figure out, how can I help this person, right? In a different way. And also to touch base on education, right? Like Daniel went to school. I'm telling you, I never, after high school, that was it. That was it for me. I never went to school, right? And it doesn't matter, I talk about this in another episode in my podcast, but I talk about, school's not everything, right? But it really depends on what you're trying to learn and what you're trying to do. And
yeah, there's a difference. School isn't everything, but learning is everything.
Yeah.
Right? So Bon, you might not be going to school, but you've constantly been learning. Self-learning. Ongoing learning. Right? Yeah. School of hard knocks.
Yeah, exactly. And wherever you are and whoever you are and whatever you're trying to accomplish, right? Everything is possible as long as you have the heart to learn from people, to learn from books, to learn from
mistakes,
right? Audios, right? Other people's mistakes, right?
Right.
Your mentors, right? And just having that educational system, right, to provide for yourself, so then you can keep learning and keep growing, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you're always learning, you're always growing, and you're always grinding on that type of aspect, right? And how are you going to scale your business? How are you going to take your business to the next level? How are you supposed to grow yourself to better your skills, to better your customer service, right? Better your product, whatever it is, and grow from there, right? And it's just an ongoing thing. There's never, I've reached the top. No, there's none of that. It's you have to keep getting better and better and better and better, and there's no stop.
Agreed.
And agreed.
And agreed one more.
Agreed.
And agreed one more.
But yeah, like there's just two examples, and from Daniel's perspective of what entrepreneurship means to him, and my perspective of what entrepreneurship means. And we've both been through struggle, right? And you're gonna struggle at every level, right? No matter who you are, and no matter how successful you are, you're gonna have struggle.
Yes.
And you're gonna face people, right? People are gonna talk, people are gonna put you down, right? But you gotta stand up for yourself and really get past that, because they're not gonna pay your bills and they're not living your life. You best.
Exactly. And I was saying just back with the struggles too, and I remember I've had some trainers that literally stole from me, like didn't train clients and took their money, or clients that did training and didn't want to pay. So you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful with who you trust, and accept that it's going to happen. And it doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong or you made a mistake, right? So those things do happen, but you got to use those as ways to make yourself better, so you don't, like Bonnie said, don't make that mistake again. Don't get caught in that trap again. How can you protect yourself in a business sense so those things don't happen again, so you don't have to go to court and sue people and all that kind of craziness, because that's not fun, right? No. We don't go into it for that kind of stuff, but it does happen, right? And being trusting like we are sometimes can be a bad thing, which has been very hard for me. That's one thing, I'm way too trusting, but I don't ever want to change that, because I always want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and have a positive mindset on people. But you also just have to be prepared and be a little bit skeptical, because it's the world we live in.
Yeah. And I guess to end off on this last point is, and one of the most, probably the most important thing in entrepreneurship to me, and probably to Daniel too, is attitude. Your emotional quota,
totally.
Your EQ. It's not your IQ. It's your
EQ, emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that matters probably the most, right? How much do you believe in yourself to make your business happen, right? And it's I can, right? That makes the difference versus, if you say you can't for sure, right?
Yeah.
But that is my little.
I like it.
Little what's the cherry on the
cherry on the top.
Yeah. But other than that, guys, if you have any questions, please comment below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the next episode on next Sunday. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye.